The first time my father called my mother incompetent, I was 12. He said it gently then, like it was a concern instead of a verdict. In court, he didn't bother with gentleness. "She is mentally incompetent." He shouted, the words echoing against polished wood and carpeted walls. "She can't manage her own affairs." I sat beside my mother, hands folded in my lap. I didn't look at him. I didn't look at the judge. I focused on breathing evenly. 3 months earlier, he had filed for guardianship. He said her memory was slipping, that she forgot appointments, that she repeated herself. Some of that was true. She was 58, newly separated after nearly 3 decades of marriage. She was learning how to manage bills and accounts he had always handled. She was anxious, overwhelmed. Stress can look like decline if you frame it that way. My father framed everything. He stood tall at his table, composed in a dark suit. Protector, responsible party, the only rational adult in the room. His attorney described the petition as an act of care. "This is about safeguarding her well-being, safeguarding, for most of my life." He managed the finances, the paperwork, even the stories we told relatives. My mother deferred. I thought that meant balance. Now I'm not so sure. When the first brief evaluation came back inconclusive, mild stress, no clear cognitive disorder, he dismissed it. Said it wasn't thorough enough. That's when I stopped staying neutral. I didn't argue with him. I didn't warn him. I scheduled a full neuropsychological assessment myself. 6 hours of testing over 2 days with a specialist who had no connection to our family. The results were clear: no dementia, no cognitive impairment, memory and executive function within normal range, elevated anxiety consistent with prolonged emotional strain. The report also noted something else: long-term spousal control over finances can create the appearance of incompetence when a partner is suddenly required to manage everything alone. We submitted the report into evidence 2 weeks before the hearing. I never told my father. In court, he spoke as if unveiling a hidden truth. "She doesn't understand basic financial documents," he insisted. "She gets confused." My mother sat upright beside me. She wasn't confused. She was quiet. The judge listened without interruption. When my father finished, the room felt heavy with his certainty. Then the judge leaned forward. "Mr. Halpern," she said evenly, "are you aware of the independent neuropsychological evaluation submitted to this court?" His attorney shifted. "Yes, Your Honor," the attorney answered. The judge looked directly at my father. "You really don't know who she is?" The question landed softly, but it changed the air. My father blinked. The color in his face dulled. "I'm trying to protect her." The judge lifted the report. "This evaluation concludes Mrs. Halpern demonstrates intact cognitive functioning. It also notes her recent difficulties are consistent with stress following separation." Silence settled over the room. "You filed for guardianship after receiving these findings." The judge continued. "Why were they not fully referenced in your initial affidavit?" There was no shouting, no dramatic outburst, just stillness that felt final. The judge suspended the guardianship petition pending further review. Temporary shared decision, making authority would remain in place. Additional inquiry would follow regarding the omission of medical context. It wasn't a spectacle. It was procedure. But for the first time in my life, my father was no longer the unquestioned authority. When the hearing ended, he didn't look at us. As we stepped into the hallway, he finally spoke to me. "You think you've helped her?" he said quietly. I met his eyes. I didn't feel triumphant. "Just steady. I think she's capable," I replied. Outside, my mother asked what shared authority meant. I explained it slowly. She followed every word. There was no celebration, just relief that felt fragile. I used to believe my father's certainty meant safety, that his control meant stability. Now I understand how easily control can disguise itself as concern. The truth didn't destroy him. It simply limited him. And for the first time, my silence wasn't obedience. It was choice.